Hello and welcome back. In this part I'm gonna talk about the tracks. I needed a simple design that would be as strong as possible and easy to make. So this is what I came up with. When designing tracks you need two main things, and that's first, a guide for the road wheels. In most cases that would be a row of teeth that either run around the road wheel or inside two road wheels. In my design there's no teeth, as you can see. And instead of that, the wheels run between those two plates. You can see a similar technique used on some World War I and early World War II French tanks like the Renault FT or Somo S-35. And second, you need a way for the track sprocket to mesh with the tracks. Some tanks like the T-44 use the track teeth for that too. But most of the time the tank sprocket meshes with the track pins, just like in a bicycle chain for example. And that's what I also use on my tracks. Of course the pins can go through the whole track because I need the channel for the road wheels, so the pins are just 20 millimeters long. The pins are welded to the inside plate, then move freely in the outside plate. Then there's a centimeter of tube that acts as a spacer for the cutter pin, because if it wasn't there the sprocket wouldn't have any space on the pin to mesh with. And the cutter pin is just a simple 3mm wire that is bent on both sides. You might have already noticed the main difference in my tracks over other tracks, and that is, every other link is flipped. What this means is that I can only have an even number of links in each track. Now the links are totally identical, just every other link is rotated by 180 degrees. The reason for that is the best solution I could think of. And even now, after a month from making that final design, I can't think of any different design that would allow me to have an odd number of links and would be as cheap as simple as this one. I made 4 designs and I am happy with the last one. Now let's talk about the building process for the tracks. Each track consists of 52 links, so 104 links in total. The first thing I do is I have to cut the 4 pieces of the flat steel that make one track link. Two 10cm pieces that are gonna make up the floor of the track, and 2 trapezoids that make the walls to guide the road wheels. Then I hole punch the places where I will drill holes. You can see the rig I made to assist me in both cutting and punching holes in the right places. Then I drill 5mm holes in the floor plates for the screws that will hold the plastic pads underneath, and 8mm holes in the wall plates for the pins. I also made a little rig for cutting the pins. Then I clean them up and punch a hole for the cutter pin to go through. And drill the 3mm hole all the way through. Then I cut the tube spacer, I also have a rig for that. When all that is done, I weld the 4 plates together in another rig. I use a stick welder and due to skill issue, the welds don't always turn out pretty, but they work. Then I weld the pins in place. And lastly I clean those pin welds with a grinder, so there's a smooth channel for the road wheels. And that's all there is to it. Of course in the future when I have the plastic planks, I will have to cut 10cm pieces of them and then just screw them on each link. Right now I have all 104 links, but I'll be making like 10 more in the future, so I have some spares. And that's about it for the tracks. Next part will be about the road wheels. Bye.